Hey, it's LA to Wade, your community reporter here at The Current, and this is your weekly wrap-up. If you're here, that means you're watching this on our new YouTube channel, so welcome. If you want the wrap-up short and sweet, check out our Instagram or TikTok. Whether you watch it here or there, hit that like button and share this with a friend. Now for the news. From The Current this week, new Mayor President Monique Boulet's first 100 days is going to be focused on building out her team. The new Mayor President dismissed about a dozen top advisors and directors from Guillory's administration, and she still needs to find replacements for top positions in public works, community development and planning, and LUS fiber.
I think the greatest accomplishment I can have is really to put the right people in place for the next 4 years so that everything else we do is done with credibility at a high level, with the most impactful goals in mind for whatever that project happens to be. I want to see this in partnership with the councils. The administration creates the footwork, right? The capacity to get things done, but it needs to be done in connection with everybody's priorities. And we're all faced with this. I mean, they're faced with the housing crunch also, but where they have levels of interest, they are welcomed in. And so far we seem to be, able to enter complex issues together.
Aside from personnel shifts, Boulet has also made headlines for nixing the deal struck with the previous administration to move City Court to the Lemoyne building downtown, mainly due to financial implications.
The financial implications were not clear. That was one of the things that caught me off guard, is that financial implications of many of the projects and decisions have not really been worked out. That's one of the most urgent things for us to do is find the good parts of each project, the things we want to carry forward, and then understanding the financial implications.
Boulet also has to figure out how to best manage the remaining ARPA funding before the December 31st deadline. There's $28 million on the table that Lafayette can't afford to lose.
We have a lot of funding right now, ARPA funding, capital outlay funding, making sure we have the priorities online, making sure those projects have real deliverables that, have the maximum benefit. I think that's the most urgency. Maybe I could answer it that way. What's the most urgent thing is really grasping what our priorities are with the funding and the restrictions that each funding mechanism brings.
Louisiana ranks dead last on health nationwide. A new initiative, dubbed LA 40 by 30 and spearheaded by the Louisiana Center for Health Equity, hopes to develop solutions to raise Louisiana's ranking to 40th in the nation by 2030. Acadiana's recent cold snaps disrupted the annual census of unhoused people. The process helps determine how much federal funding the region receives to address its housing needs, and the freeze made people harder to find. In other news, Opelousas Police Chief Greg Twin LeBlanc faces charges of obstruction of justice, malfeasance in office, and failure to seek assistance after attempting to cover up a December 22nd domestic shooting relating to an affair that wounded both him and his wife. Governor Jeff Landry's transition team recommended Louisiana eliminate its corporate and personal income taxes in a report last week. Critics point out that the plan doesn't account for the loss of revenue and argue that the change would shift the tax burden to residents with lower incomes. Mardi Gras barricades went up Thursday in Lafayette, and Coup de Canaille kicks off Lafayette's parades Friday. We're going into the Shadowverse this year, friends. And that's all I got. Until next time, I'm Boulet, and that was your week wrap.